Hey, Danny, did you notice that we are in Wizard World in Cleveland?
I did notice, Cole, and I'm sure everyone else did too.
Well, you know what? We're going to be doing some fun interviews and other stuff like that. It's going to be good. It's
So
going to be good.
welcome to All Systems Go. I'm your host, Danny Langworthy.
And I'm Cole Kistler.
And we drove in separate cars.
All right, so I'm here with Cole, and we're about to, what are we about to do, Cole?
We're about to play some geek trivia.
Whoa! Did somebody say a geek trivia?
So yeah, we're gonna be a team, and we're gonna crush it at Geek Trivia. ASG out. I hope. Yeah.
I don't think we'll come in last. I think there's some stupid people out there.
Trivia right now.
I'm excited.
Versus DC panel a little bit later. We're doing improvised Dungeons and Dragons.
Team name. I think I know their team name, don't you, Cole? Roll call.
Schmucks. Schmucks. I've been checking my hair for the majority of this.
You're chicken.
I think it's put 66.
66.
I'm going with 1966.
I gotta make sure the date's not off. You can
The correct answer.
Captain Planet, he's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero.
Gonna take pollution down to literally just magnified, and it's fighting on the planet side.
Number 3.
What is that?
Wait. What is that from? I'll give you a hint for this. There is a clue in the room right now onto what this might be called.
It's Wayne's World.
What's on the screen? Yeah. 24 points apiece for Darth Sharon and the Schmucks, everybody.
What did we tell you? What did we tell you? We came, we saw, we conquered you brainlets in Cleveland. Come at me. We're the best.
That's right, peons. You just got alpha-ed all over.
Guess who won the trivia?
I got signed comic books, nerds.
It was a good showing. Darth Sharon, we got the same number of points as her, so
Damn
we
right.
actually, we're pretty
Shut up to
excited.
Sharon.
Shut up, Jeremy. We're the winners.
Yeah, everyone really wins when you're doing
No.
something so fun like trivia.
We won the most, though.
Yeah, we won! Yeah!
You're watching All Systems Go.
You're watching All Systems Go.
We're watching All Systems Go.
My name is Buzz, and I'm looking for the evil Emperor Zurg.
All Systems Go.
I think he's out there in the Gamma Quadrant. If you find him, let me know.
You're watching All Systems Go.
Because I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger. All systems go. All systems go.
I'm watching All Systems Go.
Yeah, we got it. Hey, thanks, man.
Got it.
Hey, I'm Sean Koss. I'm from Cyanide Happiness. I'm also from Ohio, and I'm an artist. There we go.
Could you tell us a little about Cyanide and Happiness?
Yeah, Cyanide Happiness was actually started by Chris, Rob, Dave, and Matt about 13, 14 years ago. Chris is actually the original creator. He was like 10 years old or whatever, like 13, drawing stick figures to make himself laugh. Met Rob and Dave and Matt on the internet, and then about 4 or 5 years later, they go, hey, why don't you come join? And I was like the 5th member of Cyanide Happiness. And so now now it's been 9 years. I work on the video game that's coming out, all 3 seasons of the show. I work on the animated shorts. I do all the posters. I do the conventions.
So also, you do a little bit of art on the side, like mental Yes.
Well, this isn't the mental health stuff, but yeah.
There is a mental health series, and
Yes.
I love that series
Awesome, thank
personally.
you.
You're welcome. But could you tell me a little bit about that, like how you got into it, like what made you?
Yeah. So 2016 for Inktober, I had no idea what to do, and I was trying to come up with some ideas. And a fan of mine suggested you should do mental health through the eyes of a schizophrenic, which makes no sense. But the idea of the mental health thing kind of stuck out, and a lot of my fans were like, "You really need to tackle this."
Yeah, I'm a
And-
psychology major. So that's
Are you?
why I
Okay,
asked,
nice.
yeah.
I actually was going through sociology and psychology at Kent State for a couple years when they said, "Hey, you know what psychology majors do?" I'm like, "What? Managers at McDonald's." I'm like, "Okay, I'm out."
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get my doctorate.
Oh, you'll be fine then.
Thanks.
I was trying to do bachelor stuff. I ain't trying to
Oh,
go
okay.
to school for that long. But yeah, I started doing I did the borderline personality disorder, and I think it was one of the ADD ones, ADHD, and I just got a huge reaction from it. And because I'm actually a registered nurse as well, I had a lot of psych nurse training, dealt with a lot of patients who were psych, a lot of mental health behavior issues, and it kind of really piqued my interest. So I did a couple here and there, not really sure how far I was going to go with it. But then I just got this like overwhelming flood of people like I can't ever explain how I feel, but this is exactly how I feel. I show this to my therapist and go, this is it. This is how I
This
feel.
right here.
Yeah, this is what I feel like. And we're going to get personal here. So I deal with a lot of depression. I think a lot of artists do. And I never really talk about it because no one wants to hear about someone being depressed, especially at a Comic-Con. So
I do.
Do you? Okay, yeah. So we're depressing type of people. We work long hours by ourselves. Battle with depression for years. I never really thought about it until really this series. I said, man, I need to go see someone about this because I'm seeing a lot of people lose their lives over it.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing all these people's stories and talking to me and everything, and telling me some deep stuff. How I'm the first person they ever told besides their therapist, which is really heavy to hear. And it kind of changed my path from just doing cool art designs to becoming this dark art voice for mental health. It's been a huge change in my life for sure.
So could you tell me a little bit about being a dark art artist?
Yeah, I'm labeled that, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's dark. I just like creepy. I always describe it as darkness with hints of light. So I take this dark art to show people I guess the dark side, but there's always hope inside that. That's a terrible way of explaining it.
No,
That's the
it's
best I
perfect.
got
Yeah.
for it. So
I think it makes sense, right?
I don't know. But yeah, that's my art style. That's the dark art, I guess.
Well, thank you so much for interviewing with us. If you have anything else you want to say, go ahead.
Thank you. And stop bothering me.
Okay. Heard it here first.
Whenever you go to a convention, there's a wide variety of merchandise for sale. There's the weird, there's the bizarre, and there's the questionable, but what you can always count on are Funko Pops. If you don't know what Funko Pops are, they basically take your favorite characters and drain the life out of them until they're just a soulless alien husk. But for whatever reason, nerds love them. I think there were more Funko Pops in that building than there were humans in Cleveland. So I made it my personal mission to locate each and every one of them. Of course, some distractions were too perfect to pass up.
Oh yeah, gotta go up the hill. Gotta go up the hill, Steve.
Were you not recording the whole time, Steven?
Hey everyone, so since I'm a psychology major, I thought we should just take a gander into the minds of everyone here dressed up as Deadpool, which is pretty much half of Comic-Con.
Let's look into the mind of some of these nerds.
Here we have a classic case of Deadpool trauma. So basically, the whole stature behind Deadpool is that he can act like an idiot all the time. And the reason to cosplay as him is most likely so everyone can just be an ass to everyone else.
That's true, Danny. Being a Deadpool cosplayer is probably the least amount of effort you have to put into anything. But it gives you a good excuse to do whatever you want.
Typically, a Deadpool means loneliness and just a lack of respect for society, but here we have a pair of them.
That's right, guys. Sometimes this animal travels in packs.
Wow, what a beautiful psychological study we have. Here we have a classic symbol of the Deadpool and his imagery that he not so chalantly possesses.
Deadpool is the antithesis of a modern society. He just exists so people can have any excuse to not follow social norms, just like everybody here wants to do. No one wants to follow anything here. This is why people don't shower and act like jackasses. That's what I got.
I heard people actually tried to self-inflict harm upon themselves to have the same facial features as Deadpool at some point when the first movie came out. So that just shows the psychological nothingness that people have. They will just blindly follow whatever.
Wow, I'm sure glad I don't have any Deadpool stuff. Aren't you, Danny?
So glad. Jess, what are you wearing?
What are you wearing, Jess?
Oh my
What is that?
gosh.
No!
Jess, how could you?
You people disgust me. This is a disgrace.
Okay, so tell me about your work here at Comic-Con.
I do fantasy art, kind of like Labyrinth or Dark Crystal. The Frodes are the people that worked with Henson on that, so I took a lot of inspiration from them. Claude Ramon Design is my company name. I'm Steve, but I named the company after my mother and father, and I do fantasy creatures.
So what's the process like for making some of these?
Well, guys like these, this is actually just a posable, but it's a mold that I made out of my parts. I make all the parts and then I assemble it. Some of the stuff I do is one-of-a-kinds, like the little wood guy here, the wood treant. He's made out of a polymer clay that hardens on its own about 2 hours. So it's a slow process of building it up on a wire armature. But I've started over the years doing more molds and castings because it hits a better price point for people. This dragon tooth is actually the two-part clay that this is out of, but it's just hand finished and painted to look like a tooth.
Hi, I'm Erin. I draw hugs. All of my illustrations are of different pop culture characters hugging, and they're all watercolor with color pencil. Well, I was looking for like a good theme that I could sink my teeth into, and this one is like very close to my personality. Favorite hugs? I would say my Hamilton one, and probably the Stranger Things one as well. These are like, this one's actually the most popular one we've ever done, but it's something that I really, really love. So it was really cool to like dig in and take a lot of time to get it right.
No, it's pronounced Apama. It's the story of a Hungarian ice cream truck driver in Cleveland who unlocks the spirit force of the most savage creature mankind has never known and becomes a superhero.
Is this your first major comic?
Yeah, really. Well, it all started with this feature film. It's called Hero Tomorrow, and this is a dark comedy romance. It's the story of a guy who has an idea for a superhero. His idea is based on the premise that so many heroes are creature-themed, but all the good ones had already been taken. You know, spiders and bats and the like. So he makes up an animal that's so powerful, yet stealth, it's never been discovered by society. He calls that an Apama. And the movie debuted at Comic-Con International, played film festivals all over the world, but it's largely about a comic book creator. A lot of people who saw the film said, this idea is unlike anything in comics, you ought to try it as a book. And then we did Apama, the series, which is the story that would have been in the main character's head. This is this is Josie Jones playing Nikki St. Clair, playing the tap dance killer. Yeah, she's a mega talented actress who gets cast in a horror show musical as the tap dance killer, but then there's a supernatural occurrence. She can't shake the role and starts taking it to the streets, going full on method. And her series comes out in April. It's going to be kind of like Punisher meets the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I have a very important question to ask you. Do you think Henry's mustache should have been in the movie?
Whoa. He's got the fanny pack and he is firing shots. Pew, 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 pew.
I mean, technically it was there, I guess.
I loved it. Personally, I've said this before, I'll say it many times again. I thought it was a great look. I mean, here we are in Cleveland where Superman was born. It's sort of blasphemous to say, but I kind of like him with a mustache. I'm just saying there was something very iconic about it in a whole new way.
And I don't think, I mean, Henry Cavill's Henry Cavill. Mustache, no mustache, you can't make the man look bad, you know? So.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Take your
Oh
time
my
with this
gosh,
one. Take
I'm
your time
surprised
with
this
this
guy
one.
isn't wearing a fanny pack.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Yeah.
I think I might have to give it to NSYNC.
Oof, no.
Wait, which one?
Backstreet Boys
which
for
one
me.
sings the Halloween one? Which one were they?
That's Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
Wait,
never mind.
You're coming around. Coming around.
Second, I'm actually in Into the Woods right now, so could you sing something?
There are giants in the sky. I'm giving one-lines of songs today.
Well done.
Well done. Giants in the sky. What do you got?
I had the
When you're
opening
way
line
up high and
of
you
it.
look below in the world, you flatten the things you know a little more than that's enough to show you just how small you are.
Oh, he was like, Ray, what do you have? Psych! No.
No, but Ray,
Still
really,
there.
really.
I'd have nothing.
When you're way up high and you look below the things you left in the world, you know.
There are great, big, wonderful somethings in... it's been a long time for me.
Horrible giants.
In the sky!
The voice of an angel. This is what I always say about this guy.
Well, I broke into comics professionally, semi-professionally in '84. I was what it called a Romita's Raider, which was at the time a art apprenticeship program that Marvel was running, and John Romita was the head of it. He was Marvel's art director, and they brought in 3 apprentices to work over a summer. I was one of them, and the program continued probably for about 10 to 15 years after that. Every year, new people coming in and out. But I worked up there for a summer, finished up my last semester of school, and then moved to New York. Got a regular job doing the Sectors, which was a toy book out of Marvel at the time, a Hasbro toy. And Denny, who's the editor on the Power Man Iron Fist work, was kind enough to give me that as a regular book. It was bi-monthly, and that's how I got my start.
So you've drawn a lot of characters. Is there a particular character that you enjoy the most or like identify with the most?
Well, when I was younger, I definitely identified with the Hulk. I think a lot of kids do. Frustrated, angry, don't really understand what's going on necessarily, and don't want to have anything to do with authority figures, mom and dad in particular, right, at that time. So that was kind of how the Hulk was always, just leave me alone.
So when you're drawing cover art, how much like free reign do you have, or does someone like tell you like a specific like thing they want you to draw?
Well, I think it depends on where you are at that time, in the industry. What I mean by that is, when I was first starting, they had a specific thing in mind. But I got to be honest, I'm thinking back, Sectors they were pretty free with me on that. I think because it was a toy book, I had a little bit more leeway, maybe, not on the way the characters looked, but maybe on the way that they were presenting the book. So I kind of got pretty good freedom with that. I came up with the way it worked was I would come up with a concept, knock out a sketch of it, and then they would either approve it or say, well, let's try this or tweak it. But they usually went pretty much with what I went with. And then later, I was when I became managing art director, I was the one that was kind of the sign off on the covers. So I got away with a lot then. I like to base my stuff off of the real world and then, push it a little bit. But I want the characters to always feel like they're, in gravity and that they, are standing at the right place and they look right. And They may be super powered or have some funky look to them, but I want them to be able to merge in with a real car and a real person, and and draw the people to look realistic, and then give that extra oomph to the characters in contrast. I think that was one of Marvel's early strong points. I have my company Evil Geiger Empire, which kind of does development for people who are starting new projects. So I work with a lot of young up and coming people, writers, maybe looking to get a name on their book and to help them promote it, and maybe I can give them some advice or expertise in return. That's the development part. I am developing my own animated series, and I've been doing a lot of move to animation now, and so that's in the works, and negotiating with stars. So.
Okay, so Danny pissed me off
So we're going to do a scavenger hunt.
because I can't fight her because I'll go to jail.
And we all know I'd win.
Shut up, Danny.
Shut up, Cole.
We're going to be finding
3 dead pools that you must fist bump. 1 Bob Ross Funko. And a stupid mashup t-shirt. Like this guy's. God, it's just terrible.
So, since we're doing the scavenger hunt, we're going to pick teams. I choose Jess.
Mine is Jeremy. Smile at the camera. Smile at the camera.
Do I gotta carry this freaking heavy thing the whole time? So I'm not...
Yes.
All right. Jess, are you looking out?
No, I'm looking at yes.
Okay, you look for you look for the mashup
I
stuff.
will use my height, Misty.
Gotta find the
Come on, Jess. I'm little and fast. Oh, I'm sorry. Ross.
I found Bob Ross. Get away, Cole! I found Bob Ross.
I found Bob Ross. We got it.
See Deadpool. Let's go, Jess. Jess, go get that. Go get that.
Yes.
Thank you.
The gold mine, some would say. I think I found our mashup T-shirt. Cue the maracas. Wait, maracas aren't Mexican. What's a Mexican instrument?
Go. Just get in there. Go get in there.
Can I get a fist bump?
Done.
Yes.
Thank you. We got 3. I mean, we won. We found everything.
This is the mashup shirt. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's raw.
You know what, Danny? Round 2.
Bet. I'll still win.
Probably. I have no energy to do this.
And I'm also on Danny's team. I also won too, but Yeah. Hi. I'm also here. Hey.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, watch me finish this whole water bottle.
Major. Wall.
Deadpool. Kyle and Dunny are fighting.
Like, can we do it in a different location so it's not in the same place as the interview?
No.
All Systems Go playing Dragon Ball Fighters with a Z, or as some would say, Dragon Ball.
La 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 la. Yeah. We're rocking it, baby. Yeah, it's good. I'm part of the Bullet Club.
Empire stuff got some action. That's my son.
Not see that coming.
No, I did not either. No.
Hi. I see the wheel.
It is.
For the day. Deadpool forever. Get that?
Why is there a pig out there? Look at it. Is that a cosplay?
What? Something outlandish? It's like Twister, but a little bit.
Just another con, everybody.